question from Rosalie, who asks, is intensive care at home service nursing care in the home or a website that the family can reference? And how does intensive care at home determine source of funding to help pay for the service? From Rosalie, my name is Patrick Hutzel from intensivecarehome.com, and today I'm answering another question from one of our readers and potential clients. So, Rosalie, it's a great question to ask, and whilst most of the information that patients and families can gather is on our website at intensivecarehome.com, we are actually a hands-on nursing service. So we are basically sending our critical care nurses into the home to deliver intensive care at home nursing, which means, we are sending our highly qualified team of critical care nurses into the home to look after mechanical ventilation, tracheostomy, BiPAP, CPAP ventilation without tracheostomy, home TPN, IV potassium, IV magnesium infusion, PEG tube management, nasogastric tube management, pitch tube management, cough assist management, central line, PICC line, Hickman's line, port management at home, as well as palliative care at home. That's pretty much the scope of our service. And of course, most of the information that you would be looking for would be all accessible on our website. There's a number of articles and videos on the website that will give you a good understanding how our service operates. Now, if you look on our website once again at intensivecarehome.com, you will also find there's a link to a resource. If you click on the link to resources on our website, it gets you to another website, which is intensivecarehotline.com. That's where we provide consulting and advocacy for families in intensive care. Maybe that is what you're asking. So, in terms of how do we determine the source of funding for intensive care at home, and how do clients pay? Well, that's a great question. Now, Rosalie, I can see from your email that you are in Australia. So that means we are currently operating all around Australia, which means most of our clients access funding through the NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, but other clients also access, for example, TAC or WorkSafe funding in Victoria, or they access iCare funding in New South Wales, or they access NIISQ funding in Queensland. They might access DVA, the Department of Veteran Affairs funding, and we are eligible to provide services through all of those schemes. We are on the preferred provider list, and we are fully accredited to provide this level of service. So that is how we determine the source of funding to help pay most of the time. But other funding sources could be the Department of Health, could be private health insurances, could be hospitals directly. We have accessed funding through all of those avenues. So funding is really not the issue. And I'll tell you why funding is not the issue. We're cutting the cost of an ICU bed by approximately 50%. So if an insurer is paying $5,000 to $6,000 per bed day for an intensive care bed, your insurer would have an interest in reducing that cost to 50% or potentially to zero by handballing it off to another insurance scheme that is then only paying 50% of the cost of an ICU bed, because your family member or yourself, depending on who's watching, can slash the cost of the ICU bed by 50% plus empty the ICU bed, which is the most sought after bed in an ICU or in a hospital in general. That's how it works, So funding should not be your concern. If you are watching this and you are in another country, we can help you there privately. We can help you there with hiring private nurses. But I really hope that answers your question about, how we can help you, especially since you are in Australia, and what schemes to access. So, like I said, with intensive care at home, we are sending our critical care nurses into the home 24 hours a day. Therefore, we are providing a genuine alternative to a long-term stay in intensive care for ventilation and tracheostomy, home BiPAP, home CPAP, ventilation without tracheostomy, tracheostomy care without ventilation, home TPN, home IV potassium infusions, and home IV magnesium infusions, IV fluids, and IV antibiotics. We're also providing cough assist management at home, ventilation weaning at home, and we're also providing central line, peak line, Hickman's line, as well as port management at home. We're also providing nasogastric tube and PEG tube management at home, as well as palliative care services at home. We're also sending our critical care nurses into the home for emergency department bypass services. And we have done so successfully as part of the Western Sydney Local Area Health District, their In Touch program. And we were saving $2,000 per patient that we keep at home instead of them going to the emergency department. That means we're also in a position to cut the cost of an intensive care bed by around 50%. An intensive care bed costs around $5,000 to $6,000 per bed day. An intensive care at home costs between $2,500 to $3,000 per bed day. And we are freeing up the most sought after bed in the hospital, which is the ICU bed. Most importantly, we're improving the quality of life for patients and their families, which is a win-win situation for all stakeholders. With intensive care at home, we are currently operating all around Australia, in all major capital cities, as well as in all regional, as well as rural areas. We are an NDIS approved service provider all around Australia, TAC and WorkSafe in Victoria, iCare in New South Wales, NIISQ in Queensland, as well as the Department of Veteran Affairs or the DVA all around Australia. Our clients and we as a provider have also received funding through public hospitals, private health funds, as well as departments of health. We are the only service provider in Australia that has achieved third-party accreditation for intensive care at home in 2025. We have been achieving this high level of accreditation since 2012. No other provider has achieved this high level of accreditation in the community and has created more intellectual property for intensive care at home nursing than we have. This puts us in a position to employ hundreds of years of critical care nursing experience combined in the community. No other service provider in 2025 employs a higher skill level in the community than we do. And that enables us to look after the highest acuity adults and children in the community in Australia safely. If you're at home already and you're watching this, or you're stuck in an ICU like you might be, and you realize that you don't have the right level of support, I'll give you a very tangible and real-world example today how we can help you. One of our first clients, when we first got started over 10 years ago in 2012, was a client who was at home initially on a ventilator with a tracheostomy with a support worker model 24/7. Of course, support workers or disability support workers are dangerous. It's negligent having support workers look after a client at home on a ventilator with a tracheostomy. That is like flying the airplane with the cabin crew instead of the pilot, because anyone on a ventilator with a tracheostomy is at very high risk of medical emergencies, or is at very high risk of dying even if they don't have a team of critical care nurses looking after them. This is actually evidence-based and is documented in our mechanical home ventilation guidelines that you can find on our website. Think about it. In intensive care in a hospital, you would not have support workers looking after a critical care patient on a ventilator with a tracheostomy. So why would anyone in their right mind would do that in a home care environment? So eventually this client found out about us, and the intensive care unit found out about us. And we were proving our concept with this ventilated and tracheostomy client very fast. When we worked with the ventilated and tracheostomy client, we sent him intensive care nurses 24 hours a day, and he never went back into ICU ever again. And we were proving our concept there very fast. We can do the same for you if you're not safe at home, which includes the advocacy for funding that goes along with it, which ties in with today's topic. We have always successfully advocated for our clients, otherwise we wouldn't be in business. The same is applicable for those stuck in ICU, similar to our, to many other of our cases and to what you are looking for. So please reach out to us. We will make it happen for you as well, and we will take you through the right steps. This is also why we are providing level 2 and level 3 NDIS support coordination. We have a team of NDIS support coordinators, and they have a wealth of knowledge. I've done an interview with Amanda Richards, one of our NDIS support coordinators, and I will put a link to an interview with Amanda in the written version of this blog below the video. We're also providing TAC case management and WorkSafe case management in Victoria with Lucy McCodder. And if you are an NDIS support coordinator or a case manager from another organization watching this, and you're looking for nursing care for your participants, please reach out to us as well. You're looking for funding for nursing care for your participants and you don't know how to go about it and how to advocate for it or what evidence to provide, I can only encourage you to reach out to us as well. We will help you with the right level of funding and with the right level of advocacy. We're also providing NDIS specialist nursing assessments done by critical care nurses with a legal nurse consulting background. And if you are a critical care nurse and you're looking for a career change and you want to join a very progressive, dynamic and high-performing team of critical care nurses in the community, we are employing hundreds of years of critical care nursing experience combined. If you're looking for a career change, we're currently hiring for jobs for critical care nurses in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, in Albury, Wodonga, in Bendigo, in Geelong, and in Warragul in Victoria. If you have worked in critical care nursing for a minimum of 2 years, pediatric ICU, ED, and you have already completed a postgraduate critical care nursing qualification, we will be absolutely delighted hearing from you. I do have a disclaimer though, because we are offering a tailor-made solution for our clients, which includes regular staff. Our clients do want the same staff coming over and over again because they are so vulnerable. It's so special. That's why we need regular staff. So if you're looking for agency work where you can come and go, this will not be the right fit for you. We are looking for consistency and our clients are looking for consistency. So please only apply with us if you can give us regular and consistent availability for shifts and you're really keen on building relationships with us and with our clients. And if you are an intensive care specialist or an ED specialist, we also want to hear from you. We're currently expanding our medical team as well. We can also help you eliminate your bed blocks in your ICU and in your ED for your long-term patients or for your regularly readmitting patients with our critical care nursing team at home. We're here to help you take the pressure off your ICU and ED beds, and in most cases, you won't even pay for it. Even if you do pay for it, it is so much more cost-effective than what you're paying for in ICU and ED setting for, and you get the same level of care and simply more patient and family satisfaction. And if you're a hospital executive watching this and you have bed blocks in your ICU, ED, respiratory wards, home TPN, please reach out to us as well. We can help you eliminate your bed blocks very fast. If you're in the US or in the UK and you're watching this and you need help, we want to hear from you as well. We can help you there privately with one-on-one consulting and hiring nurses privately. Once again, our website is intensivecarehome.com. Call us on one of the numbers on the top of our website or simply send us an email to info@intensivecarehome.com. And if you like my videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel for regular updates for families with intensive care at home and intensive care. Click the like button, click the notification bell, share this video with your friends and families, and comment below what you want to see next and what you think about this video. Thank you so much for watching. This is Patrick Hutzel from intensivecarehome.com, and I will talk to you in a few days. Take care.